Classes we were discussing about different types of samskaras, and we have seen Jatakarma Samskara, then Dolashana Samskara in detail. And today we will look into another important samskara, uh, which is mentioned in the classics. So that is Namakarana Samskara. Namakarana Samskara, yes. Of course, Namakarana Samskara is also explained very well in Ayurvedic Samhitas, and Namakarana Samskara is also mentioned in Hindu religious books. There is slight variation in the explanation, but we will go with the explanation of Namakarana Samskara, which is mentioned in Ayurveda Samhitas. Charaka, Shushruta, Vagvata, all the three Samhitakaras mentioned Namakarana Samskara. That's the beauty. Now, name actually, Namakarana Samskara is nothing but a procedure where a specific name shall be given to the baby. So, this is a special procedure where newborn child will be given with the name. And if you look into the basics, it looks like a very simple procedure. And this is one of the rituals followed by the Hindus since ancient time, even in different religion also. So there's a procedure of giving name in different ways. The explanation of Namakarana Samskara has been found in Ayurveda, all the three Samhitas as I told. Hence, Namakarana Samskara should be analyzed under the medical perception. Now, the timing of Namakarana Samskara varies a lot as for the different authors. And if you look into Charaka says he should be done 100th day onwards. The Sushruta says 10th day after the birth. And Ashtanga Hridaya says 10th day along with the Sutika Utthana, or on the 12th day, or he also says that 100th day or during the first year. Of course, there is a mistake. What I done is Charaka says on the 10th day onwards, not 100th day onwards. So this is a mistake. Okay, 10th day onwards. So Charaka says 10th day onwards. Shushruta also says 10th day onwards after birth. Ashtanga Sangraha says 10th day onwards or with the Sutika Uttana, or on the 12th day, or he says it can be also done on the 100th day, or it can be also done on the first year of the life. There is a variation is there. Extensive time period has been given. Again, Ashtanga Hridaya is very clear. It also says that it should be done after 10th day. Okay, so there's a spelling mistake as I told. Charaka says 10th day onwards, not 100th day onwards. Okay. Now these are some of the pictures of Namakarana Samskara. Okay, where a specific name will be given. Husband, wife has to sit, and mother has to take the baby on her lap, and then a particular ritual procedures will be done, and then a particular name will be given to the child. And these are some of the other pictures. Now, Namakarana Samskara, how it is useful for the assessment of growth and development? This is a question. Okay, as we know that name gives a personal identity to the child. Name is very important for the identification purpose. Even in the newborn care also, we usually give the name, baby of so and so mother. Or if there is a twins, then we will give the name as A and B, and we will tie the tag, because that's very important. Okay, so one is name gives a personal identity, and it is very important for the future life. Second one is it is very important for the identification purpose, name, the medical records, and to prevent the neonatal exchange in the nurseries. Name is very important. For the first days of a week is considered a high risk period in the life of the newborn. Now the question is, all the authors says that Namakarana Samskara should be done after the 10th day. Nobody has told that Namakarana Samskara should be done before 10th day, because they clearly knows that first 10 days of the life is very, very crucial. It's considered as a high risk period. Okay, so only once after the completion of the high risk period, then we have to go for Namakarana Samskara. Okay, there are so many mortalities or morbidity can occur for the baby in the first week of the life, because the first week of the life is actually unstable life. Okay, so if suppose the baby has got some major congenital abnormalities, baby may die within 10 days. If there is RH incompatibility, again the baby may die, or certain metabolic disorders, severe birth asphyxia or Shashti Bada, etc. So here baby may die before 10 days. Therefore all the author says that Namakarana Samskara should be done only after 10 days. The first 7 days are considered as early neonatal period. So this ceremony provides an opportunity for the examination of the baby on the 10th day. Okay, this ceremony actually provides an opportunity for the examination of the baby on the 10th day. Okay, that's after completion of the neonatal period, and that is also coincide with the period of Shuddha. Okay, the 12th day. In the last class we have seen Dugdhapana as a Dolashana Samskara, where all the family members will be sanctified or purified. So almost all only after that the Namakarana Samskara will be done. It's not mandatory that it should be done only on the 10th day. They told that 10th day onwards. Okay, 10th day onwards, according to the convenience, we can do. Now, procedure of naming ceremony, if you see, normally the baby will be get stabilized by this period. Okay, so what are the important examination point as far as Namakarana Samskara is concerned? The timings, that's 10th day onwards. So usually after 10th day the weight gain pattern starts. Initial weight loss will be there for the first few days, about 10% of the weight will be lost, and after 1 week or 10th day again the weight gain pattern 30 grams per day, that will again start. And again there is a chance of a hyperbilirubinemia, that is maybe physiological jaundice, so that also start coming down. So this is also an examination point for that. Then hypercalcemia is also common in newborn babies, that will be also tested. Feeding problems, usually by 10th or 12th day baby will be established in feeding. Okay, so before that feeding problems will be also more, so therefore it should not be done before that. Hypoglycemia and hypothermia, so baby also now overcome the thermal stress also, because now it developed the thermoregulatory center, or maturity of the thermoregulatory center will take place, so it can cope up with the change in the temperature also. So now that means after 10th day baby is totally safe. Okay, now late onset of septicemia are more threatening during this period. Again, first 10 or 12 days we should not go for any naming ceremony, because there is every chance of infection like Shashti Bada we says, or different type of Jata hernias. Okay, or they can be compared with the late onset of septicemia. So this is quite common. So only after ensuring that all these problems are not there, then only we will go for naming ceremony. In case baby is devoid of all these high risk problems, okay, if the baby is devoid of all these high risk problems, then from 10th day onwards Namakarana Samskara should be performed. Okay, so this also indicates the end of early neonatal period. Now on 10th day onwards, when we do that Namakarana Samskara procedure and assessment of the growth and development, so how it is helpful. See, status of the umbilical stump will be also checked, because we know that by 7th day the umbilical cord will go into fall, usually fall, it will dried up, and there will be umbilical stump, it leaves back a small ulcer. So we can also take care of the umbilical cord also during this time. That's one of the important issue. Then present generation perform this ceremony Namakarana Samskara with the traditional importance as a ritual without knowing the medical and scientific importance. They don't know the medical and scientific importance. Nowadays, most of the sometime Namakarana Samskara is performed in the 6 months, sometime after 1 year, or whenever it is convenient for them, it is performed. It is not like that. After 10th day, as early as possible, it has to be done, because naming gives a personal identity, and for the identification purpose, it is very important. Okay. Now, name is very important, especially if the baby is admitted in the ward. Again, the importance of the name in case of blood transfusion. Okay, so in the ward, usually we face a problem if the two babies are there with the same name. Okay, there is mismatch of blood transfusion also. Then maintenance of the medical records for the medical legal purpose. Name is very important. Okay, those who face these problems, they can understand. Okay, for the medical legal purpose, name is very important. Full name is very important. Therefore, Namakarana Samskara should be done as early as possible. Okay, so Kashyapa has not mentioned about Namakarana Samskara. Okay, Charaka Shushruta Bhagavata explained, even Ashtanga Sangra also explained, Hridaya also explained, but Kashyapa has not mentioned. Probably the verses may be missing. Okay, so because of missing of the text, this is possible. Now, two types of name should be given. One is Nakshatrika Nama, and another one is Abhiprayika Nama. Nakshatrika Nama is given as per the dominance of the star on the day of delivery of the baby. Okay, so now suppose the baby has born in a particular nakshatra. Each nakshatra have got their own letters, and accordingly the name should be given from that particular letter. Now, this helps to remember the date of birth and also the planetary and star position on the day of the birth, just by if you keep such a name, Nakshatra Nama, depending upon the planetary and the nakshatra position of the day of delivery, then it is an easy way of remembering the nakshatras and also the date of birth. And it also helps very well for the astrological calculations. Astrological calculation is very important for different purpose. Even in the premarital assessment also, the Nakshatra Nama is very important because we usually go for astrological calculations. It's very important. The very important thing is none of the author mentioned Namakarana Samskara before 10th day. That's very important, which suggests that life of the baby is not out of risk during the early neonatal period. So hence this procedure is indicated after the completion of a high risk period of a neonate. And one more important thing in Namakarana Samskara is that is Abhiprayika Nama. Abhiprayika Nama, so that is usually given a routine name. Okay, again, a name, when you give the name, it has to follow certain rules and regulations. We cannot randomly keep any name. First letter how it should be, middle letter how it should be, and last letter how it should be. Everything is fixed. Ushmanam, etc. Okay, I will not go into detail. So, because when you utter a name, so for lifelong you are uttering the name of the or calling that name by particular name of the child. So it has got its impact. So we cannot keep the name which is randomly cannot keep. So Ayurveda explains, especially Ashtanga Sangraha explains different types of Nakshatra Nama, and Ashtanga Sangraha explains different types of Nakshatra Nama according to the nakshatras, which particular name should be kept. Abhiprayika Nama is for the general purpose, but still there they have to follow certain rules and regulations, like how should be the first letter, how should be the mid letter, and how should be the last letter. No Vruddha Akshara should be used. Okay, so like this different rules and regulations are followed while keeping the name also. Such name is called as Abhiprayika Nama. For all routine purpose, this Abhiprayika Nama is used. For the astrological calculation, we usually go for Nakshatra Namas. Now this is about Namakarana Samskara. Another important Samskara which is mentioned is Dugdhapana Samskara. Now Dugdhapana Samskara is nothing but it is testing of tolerance capacity for the animal milk for the first time. Again, Dugdhapana Samskara is not mentioned in Ayurveda books, it is mentioned in Hindu religious books. This is a special Samskara which is mentioned in Hindu religious books, where baby is fed for the first time with an external milk other than the breast milk. Now baby will be given the animal milk through a conch shell, and this is performed during the first month of the life. Okay, we always believe that exclusive breastfeeding should be given for up to 6 months. That being the case, so why we are giving this animal milk after 1 month? That's a big question. Of course, now this can be understood as follows. Probably this is a method of initiation of a supplementary feed and acts like a starting process of slow weaning. Maybe this is the problem. Simply we are testing the tolerance capacity of the child for the supplementary feeds, because in future actually we have, when we go for the Annaprashan and all the food materials will be usually given in the milk medium, Shiravanti Mrudunicha. So if suppose baby is not tolerating the animal milk at all, and if the baby has got some allergy towards the animal milk, especially cow's milk, so then it will be identified clearly. So probably this is a method of initiation of the supplementary feed and acts like a starting process of the slow weaning. Now point number 1. Point number 2, top feeding is introduced for the first time slowly to watch the tolerance capacity of the baby. Third one is very important, I think. This is a test to trial to see the milk allergies in a growing child. Because after 6 months when we go the supplementary feed, usually all the supplementary feeds are given with the milk medium. So if suppose if the milk baby has got milk allergy itself, especially for the cow's milk, then it may be problematic. Probably this may be a pre-early trial method or testing method to look at the milk allergies and act accordingly. Okay, sometime it may be required for the enhanced caloric requirements if required. So in the present day contemporary technique of feeding, method of feeding, so this Dugdhapana Samskara cannot be justified, because it is very clearly told that exclusive breastfeeding should be given up to 6 months. So therefore Dugdhapana Samskara, what I mean is, this may be simply a test for milk allergies. We are clearly identifying the milk allergies and avoiding the same in future. There is another samskara which is mentioned, that is Jala Pooja Samskara. This samskara is basically related to the mother. Actually, this is also not mentioned in Ayurvedic books. This is mentioned in the Hindu religious books. This samskara has nothing to do with the baby. Actually, this samskara is to do something with the mother. The woman who worship the water during the purpural period. And she will take and lift the bucket full of water from the river and well and will bring it. Okay, this samskara will be done on the second month. That means he will go somewhere to the well or river, etc., and he will bring one bucket full of water. That is this samskara. Usually this is done on the second month of the postnatal period. Okay, so procedure is not related to baby, but for the mother, as far as Jala Puja Samskara indicates the completion of the Sutika Kala. Probably it is indicative of completion of the Sutika Kala. Thereafter, mother can resume for her normal work. So these are some of the important samskaras for today's class. We have seen Namakarana Samskara, Jala Puja Samskara, and as well as Dugdhapana Samskara. Namakarana Samskara is extensively explained in the Ayurvedic classics. Jala Puja and Dugdhapana Samskaras not mentioned in Ayurveda classics. It is mentioned in the Hindu religious books. So this is all for today. So please subscribe my channel and also give your valuable comments. We'll come back again with another important samskara. Thank you very much.